now, please help me welcome to the stage your host and MC for the evening, Brad Hiker.
Yeah, all right, Comedy Works. How we doing tonight? Excellent, excellent. I am your host and MC for the night. You guys ready for my brand of humor? Yeah. I met a normie the other day, which was what we call non-comics, and he right away he asked me, he's like, so what's your brand of humor? And he kept grilling me about it, and finally I was like, pirate humor. He's kind of an ass, so right away he's like, you do jokes about pirates? He's like, no, these are jokes for pirates. I get a lot of cruise ship gigs. Here's a weird question I had today. Why is it rude to ask a woman how much she weighs? But it's romantic to sweep her off her feet and then quietly estimate. It is wrong. Speaking of wrong, I had a buddy the other day tell me, like he just turned to me and said, you know what? We're not officially old until you wouldn't have sex with someone who's twice your age. I'll pause when I say the math real quick. And to me, that's a flawed theory, because I'm 32, and I don't have a limit, but I don't see myself having sex with a 64-year-old. But when I'm 64, I don't see myself saying no to a 128-year-old. I know me pretty well. I know if I'm 64 and single, I ain't gonna be picky. Tell you guys a story. I'm born and raised in Colorado. I live in New York now. I'm back for the holidays. Yeah! Wow, you have never been to New York. I have this weird, I grew up in the mountains and now I live in Brooklyn, and I have this weird transition. This summer, we had 9 days in a row that were over 100 degrees. And on day 7, I convinced myself that drinking in public cannot possibly still be illegal. And so I walked into a bodega and I grabbed a double tall beer and I cracked it in the store, and then I went to go pay for it. Let me pause right there actually. I told this story in Iowa a couple months ago and it didn't do well, and then it occurred to me later that no one in Iowa knows what a bodega is. So here's how I explained a bodega to Iowa. It's like a gas station that doesn't sell gas. And it's where you go when you want to buy cigarettes, sandwiches, or condoms one at a time. And there's always a bunch of cats running around. But the cats aren't for sale. But if you ask the right question, the cats are for sale. Bodega. So I'm in there and I crack a beer in the store and I pay for it, and then the guy's like, are you gonna walk outside with that? And I was like, yeah. He's like, that's illegal. And I was like, I'll take my chances. And my crime lasted 3 steps. I walked outside and just locked eyes with the cop. We both looked down at my beer, and I looked back at the cop, and I said the only thing I could think of, which was, I just took this away from some underage kids. And he didn't bite, and he starts writing me a ticket, and then the weirdest thing happened. As he's writing me this ticket, he starts just giving me insider cop tips. He becomes my best friend all of a sudden, saying stuff like, this isn't your first time drinking in public, is it? And I was like, no. He's like, tell you what, you're about to get a $25 ticket, but if you get busted again in the future, the price does not go up. And I responded like a mountain kid in New York does, and I said, what? And he's like, yeah, there's people in this neighborhood we bust every day. It's $25 every time. Because we're in the ghetto. And so we're standing next to we're on the corner, so there's a trash can right there. And I go to throw my beer away, and he goes, whoa, what are you doing? Don't waste it. And once again, I said the mountain kid line, which was, what? He's like, yeah, you're already getting a ticket for that beer, you might as well finish it. Which sounds awesome, you're like, what an awesome cop, right? But put yourself in my shoes. There's a 24-ounce beer that I just cracked. Those take a while to drink. So for the next 15 minutes, I'm just pounding a beer on a corner with a cop. It's like a really bad first date. Just making awkward small talk. We talked about the weather, then we talked about sports, then we talked about how the weather affects sports. And we're in the ghetto too, so people are driving past me and like, holy shit, look what white people get away with. And I'm sitting there thinking, holy shit, look what white people get away with. And then after a while, it just gets too awkward, so I just lied to him. I was like, oh, you know what, I should really throw it out. I'm late, I gotta catch a train. And he kind of sighs like I'm breaking up with him. And he goes, no, don't throw it out. Here's what I'll do for you. I'll make a mark on your ticket and I'll give you a carbon copy. That way, if you get stopped by another cop, you can show them you've already been busted for that beer. Now, the reason I tell the story has a very strong moral to it. And that moral is, if any of you guys ever go to New York City, please keep in mind that drinking in public is not illegal. There's just a $25 cover. Yeah. All right. You guys ready to start the show? Yeah.